Welcome to episode 13 of our Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on E8FC24, and we have reached November, so closing in on that January transfer window where we can continue to develop and add to this squad. But for today's episode we have 3 games to get to. We have Forest Green Rovers in the FA Cup, our first FA Cup game this season. We have Wrexham in the league, and then we also have Newport County. Wrexham is the game that we will be playing, so we'll simulate this Forest Green Rovers game and the Newport County one that follows Wrexham. And we will get straight into that. We do have our strongest 11. We do have a good chunk of time between each of the matches as well, a full week's rest, so I'm happy to send the strongest 11 out there. So let's see what we can do against Forest Green. We have played them in the league already this season. I want to say we beat them, but that could be wrong. We do lose to them on this occasion though, so Troy Deeney and Callum Morton with the goals. So a very good start to the season in terms of our league performance. The cups, not so much. We're out of all 3 of our cup competitions, lost in the first round of each. Wait, are we out of the EFL trophy? It looks like it. Oh no, there was a cup game there. That was Stockport. So actually, we are still in the EFL trophy. I'm not entirely sure how that one works, but we have lost a game in that competition already. We're out of the Carabao Cup, and we are now out of the FA Cup. The league is our primary focus this year, though. And again, we have a few players out on international duty between the 16th and the 22nd. Does this game fall in between those dates? It doesn't. So we're fine for this game, and I think we could just run our strongest 11 out there again. I have been starting Just, and I think I will continue to do that over Lancaster. Actually, I'm going to put Lancaster back out there for this game. And we'll have Just on the bench. We've got Dalton, Bullock, Hutton, Stanley and Bevan at the back. Willis in goal, Ford and Anderson. I don't see any reason to make any changes. The other thing that I meant to do when I updated sliders after the last episode was injury severity. I talked about that in the last episode, as well as the goalkeeper ability. I have bumped that up for the CPU. I forgot to do the injury severity though, so we'll have to do that after this game, or after this episode. Wrexham are going to play a 5-3-2. I was going to say I don't recognise any of their players, but James McLean they've got playing at left wing back, which is interesting. And they've won 4 out of the last 5 games. A 2-star team. I think this is the first 2-star team that we've played so far this year. And they're going to play kick and rush the same as us, control the game out of possession, and get passes into their quick and mobile forwards early. So 2 fairly similar game plans. We're going to go to the press conference. Don't know why it shows me this every time. I've done a press conference before.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you. Can we take your seats and we'll start getting the questions in now.
Get a question about Aidan Hutton early. He's still getting picked for the starting 11 despite struggling badly. He's going to play through it. I wouldn't say struggling badly. He's doing very well defensively, but not the best with the ball at his feet. So can we sustain a real challenge? We'll definitely have a go. I definitely think we can challenge for one of those automatic promotion spots. Whether we end up winning the league or not, I'm not sure. How do we plan to approach it? We're just going to focus on the performance. We won't underestimate them, which was another option there. But I feel like if we focus on our own performance, then we're going to be fairly successful. We are away from home, and we're running out the black and cream 3rd kit for this game. We have a couple of players hitting 70 overall for the first time. So Jake Dale and Brandon Anderson, both 70 overall. Our first 70s in the squad. Burgess and Stanley aren't far behind them though. So good to see. And let's get straight into this game against the Hollywood Wrexham.
In the league, up against the freest scoring team in the league. Who will come out on top?
The best defence against the freest scoring team, so Wrexham will be the team with the best defence there.
Next on EA TV.
And will be the team that they refer to as the freest scoring. So most goals scored against fewest goals conceded. We'll see who comes out on top.
My name is Derek Ray, and ready with his tactics board to provide all the analysis.
Should be a challenge this game. Our first 2-star team that we've played. We've played a few 1.5-star teams,
Wrexham versus Rangers.
but no 2 stars yet. Interesting that they are a 2-star team, considering they have only just been promoted. It's their first season in. Oh, that's a good save from Elliot Willis.
The save was a good one.
It's their first season in professional football, and they are already one of the better rated teams in the division. So
And over comes the corner. Well, in fairness, it wasn't the best.
again, they win the header. Seems to be a common theme. We're beaten in the air far too easily. Rory Bullock really struggling to find any help on that left-hand side, on that right-hand side rather.
Stanley. It's with Hutton. Danger averted.
Not a great start to the game for Rangers, although we have nicked the ball back. And if we can get Lancaster in down that right-hand side, we might be able to cause them some trouble, but
Well, that is how to
Wrexham quick to react. To be honest, I'd be more than happy with a draw in this game.
Nothing comes of it. It looked promising.
Extend our unbeaten run. We're away from home. Playing the team that's in second place, just 1 place behind us.
Hutton.
So I think as long as we don't give points back to them, we have to be happy. I don't think we need a win necessarily. It would be nice to extend our lead at the top of the league. But more important, not to allow them to gain and even overtake us. So
Did well to win the ball back.
it's a solid start defensively. Brandon Anderson will try and get something started going forward, but again he's quickly surrounded by Wrexham defenders.
He's won the ball.
They look like they're going to be very difficult to break down defensively. Keeping a very good shape, very active.
Strong play here. Interception to snuff out
And we're
the
going to have to try and be the same, essentially.
An example of how to
Just going to have to hook it down the line. We're really struggling to work our way out of our defensive third.
how to play it goes.
Wrexham finding it a lot easier, but not that time.
Stanley.
See if we can get something working finally. Noah Burgess, for some reason,
Keep it.
moves back towards his own goal and inside rather than staying wide there like he's supposed to. We have worked it into a position with Lancaster on the opposite flank though, and we'll throw a ball into the box and see if Jake Dale can get on the end of it.
Problems defensively.
Fortunately he can't.
We can get more details on that injury situation from our man pitch side, Jeff Shreves. Jeff.
We're going to have to wait and see the extent of this injury because his foot was trodden on.
Stanley picked up an injury.
We'll have to wait and
Foot
see
was trodden on
how
apparently.
serious this is.
Cheers, Jeff.
Aidan Hutton clears at the near post.
Clearance.
Gets his foot in again.
George Evans.
He's going to have to make a block here, which he does. Ball goes out for a corner. Positive start from Wrexham. Definitely had the better of these first 20 minutes or so.
Over it comes.
And Elliot Willis does well to come out and claim that. Had to come through bodies, both Redmont and Wrexham, to get there, but he managed to. And that was a fantastic ball from Rhys Bevan. The linesman is in our half with his flag raised, but Burgess was just offside. I was a little sceptical there. Linesman had his flag raised for offside, but he was in our half. But Burgess was just inside the Wrexham half as he made his run there. Dalton finding himself extremely far up the pitch. But Lancaster wasn't there to do that role. So he had to fill in for him. We've given the ball away again in midfield, and Brandon Anderson has picked up a knock now. See, this is my concern about raising the severity slider too much. When you do have the frequency so high, and you've got players picking up knocks all the time, you don't want the severity too high, because then you're just losing multiple players a game to injury. But we haven't lost any so far to an injury that's lingered beyond the end of the game. So I was going to say Burgess does well to keep it in there, but it looks like he didn't. Or he did, but he used his hand by the looks of it to keep it in. I mean, it's an interesting approach. It tends to be one that's frowned upon in football. Haven't heard any update on Stanley's injury. Haven't had to take him off yet. So it looks like probably one that he will just run off. Oh, Noah Burgess nicks in there. Can't quite keep the ball in play though. Perhaps he should have tried to use his hand again like last time, although he was punished for that. Bevan's allowed Wrexham to get into the box, and they've pulled it back, but he recovers there really well. And we'll see if Sam Ford can get us away. That's a terrible challenge. It's got to be a yellow card at least. He has to produce a yellow. And he does.
No question about it. He deserved his booking there.
Not much happening in these first 25 minutes. A few half chances for Wrexham, but not much beyond that. Almost nothing for Redmont Rangers. But nothing of any real danger or threat from Wrexham either. So the KG open into the game. I was hoping he would just try and play that inside to one of his centre backs. Lancaster gambled that he would, but oh, that's a poor touch. I knew it as soon as I did it. Didn't need to sprint there. Stanley's going to have to come across and cover. He doesn't manage to, so Wrexham get another shot on goal. It's too close to the goalkeeper to cause any real issue. But it has been turned around for a corner again. Stanley does seem to have run off his injury. But Brandon Anderson looks like he's having more difficulty doing the same.
It's with Hutton. Dalton.
Might have to bring Brandon Anderson off by the looks of things.
Stanley.
We'll give him another 5 minutes.
Bevan. The failure to keep the ball.
It's really poor. We just have almost nothing going forward at the moment.
Doesn't have to do it on his own. Well, nothing comes of it. It looks promising.
Hutton with a fantastic intervention. But we're just letting them play in front of our penalty area. They're finding space between the bank of 5 defenders and the 2 midfielders. I'm going to bring Brandon Anderson off. He is still injured. Whether or not he would run it off, I don't know, but it's looking unlikely right now. So we'll bring Zach Francis on. Unfortunate. Oh, I thought that was a corner for some reason. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. Would be unfortunate if Brandon Anderson is our first injury loss of the season. He's an important player. Our best defensive midfielder by far. Although based on his performance in the last episode,
And he can.
it seems like Sam Ford wants that title as well as the title of most creative midfielder.
Forward.
Can Lancaster get there? He
Coming off the
can't.
supply.
Wrexham have just been so solid
There's
defensively.
been a goal in one of the other matches. Alex Scott has the details.
Yeah, it's a goal for Swindon Town. It's now 1-0 with 38 minutes on the clock.
Thank you, Alex.
If they were a little more clinical going forward, Wrexham, we really could have been in trouble in this first half, but I mean, we've defended fairly well
Dalton
in our own right too.
moving the ball more than decently, but can
It's
they...
going forward, but we've had an issue, and now Ryan Lancaster has picked up a knock.
The referee let the matter rest there.
Lots of injuries in this first half. Really hoping Lancaster will run his off. So can't really afford to
And
make
he whips it in.
a second change.
Possession lost, intercepted.
Second yellow card for Wrexham.
Evans. Let's get the latest on the injury situation from our pitchside man.
What are they saying about Lancaster?
Quite gingerly because his foot is sore because he got trodden on in that last.
He also got trodden on in the last challenge. That's what it seems to be every time as well. Seems to have got trodden on in that last challenge.
Fine reading of the situation.
Space out wide right and two players over, but we can't find either of them. I thought Lancaster was going to nick it away from the defender there as well, and we had Jake Dale in space.
Can he finish?
Cut and unable to cut the ball out that time.
Holding on to it at the second time of asking.
But again, the ball is straight at Elliot Willis. Jake Dale wants it in behind.
It's a good looking ball.
Extremely animated, calling for the ball there. Desperate for it to be played in behind for him to run onto. Wrexham have given the ball away. They immediately snuff out the Redmont Rangers counter-attack. Zach Francis is there to try and pick up where he left off though.
Dalton
It's a nice ball from Dalton. And Dale will drive.
moving forward effectively.
Little to do but lay it off to Reece Bevan,
Fine block.
who can only smash it straight into the shins of the Wrexham
Strong
defender.
and secure on the ball.
I'd like at least a throw in here if possible. They managed to work it out and it's half time anyway.
And it is a story of
So 0-0 at half time. Wrexham definitely having the better of that first half.
They've been lauding their attacking play, but today they've just been below their normal standards. They've lacked that little bit of sharpness, but credit to their opponents, they've defended really well all over the pitch.
Really unable to get much going at all in that first half. 0 XG, 0 shots. Yeah. Not a good performance. I'm happy enough to leave things as they are because I don't want to push too hard to try and get the win. We haven't really been threatened
Interesting to see how they're
too much in that first half. Wrexham definitely having the better of the play and definitely creating a few opportunities, but really half chances more than anything too significant. So happy enough just to try and see the game out to a 0-0 draw, to be honest. I'd be absolutely fine with that. Bevan chips it over to Burgess. Tries to beat his man for pace and simply can't. And press the goalkeeper and force him just to get rid. Zach Francis leaps like an absolute salmon over the Wrexham midfielder to get his head on it.
Jordan Davis. And the perfect
Oh, we were away there.
foul it is then.
But must be another handball.
Substitution will occur now.
Handballs far more frequent in the game than they are in real life.
That's a lovely ball.
And we do go 1-0 down. Again, it's a set piece. The ball looped into the box from the free kick. And it's the big centre-back Boyle that manages to get his head on it. And we're going to struggle
Well, here it is
to
again.
come away with a result now, I would think.
Good contact with the ball, and he keeps it
Jake
down.
Dale that gets
That's a nice
beaten.
headed goal.
Just boxed out by the centre-back. Not too much we can do about that, I don't think. Not the best display from Willis there, although it's a fantastic header. There's not a great deal he can do about that.
His side is struggling now.
And I think we are going to have to press. I'm going to switch to the attacking game plan because we had absolutely nothing going on balanced in that first half. And we are now a goal down. I was content to keep things as they were as long as we, you know, remain level, but things have changed now. We need a goal if we're going to come away with a result. Another change for Wrexham. Well, one from Ford, and we've got space if we can put a ball in for Jake Dale. Wrexham managed to clear though. A bit more energy, a bit more enthusiasm.
Anthony Ford.
If we're going to manage to get back into this game. Sam Ford is the man to bring that. Zach Francis has made a great run. Sam Ford has managed to find him. He manages to find his way into the penalty area. Just manages to keep it in and force the ball against the Wrexham defender for a corner. Here's their goal again. Just manages to get in front of Dale and box him out, and then Elliot Willis kind of far off his line there. Potentially looking to come and claim the free kick. And that ends up leaving space in behind him for the header to loop over into the far corner. So I said at the time there wasn't a lot he could do about it, but position himself slightly better would be one thing. Sam Ford squeezes it through to Jake Dale, who powers through the Wrexham defence. He's still on his feet and he's still going. Really good pressing from Redmont. And Ryan Lancaster somehow manages to keep it in. Tosses it towards the back post. Can't find Noah Burgess. Got a bit more about us now. Starting to make things happen. That's a fantastic sliding challenge from the Wrexham defender though. And again we need to press.
And into the last 30 minutes now. Dalton.
It's a lovely ball from Dalton. Lancaster pulls it back, but again Wrexham are there to clear. Defending really well. Hutton finds himself out of position. He's going to have to race to get back to his usual spot on the pitch. I think it might be Elijah Just coming on for Noah Burgess very shortly.
And a lot to like about this attack. The attack fizzled out. Stanley. And a clear foul, but the referee letting the play flow.
Oh, he's absolutely smashed that. Trying to get Burgess to run down the line and then just plop a ball in behind for him, but unable to make that happen. I'm going to bring Justin on the right. And I feel like we should make one more change, but I'm actually not going to.
Well, it's going to be a goal kick here.
Another yellow card for Wrexham.
For the referee to go back and hand out the caution.
So 2 changes so far. We do have 3 changes left, but only 1 opportunity to make all 3 of those changes. So ideal scenario would be we grab an equaliser and then we bring on 3 pairs of fresh legs to see the game out.
McLean in possession.
Oh, I thought Just was going to be able to nip in there and steal that away. Dalton has managed to do just that though. Just cuts inside. Manages to find Lancaster on the far side, but the ball's a little bit awkward to bring down. That's what we brought Just in for though. To come on late in games and cause issues. Sam Ford carves out a little bit of space, but what a recovery from the Wrexham defender. Thought Ford was going to be able to unleash one of those trademark shots from range. But instead, the Wrexham defender makes a fantastic recovery and steals the ball back.
Chance to do damage.
Let's try and get goal side again with Dalton. We don't manage to do that. Wrexham put the cross in. Lancaster tries to make a nuisance of himself, and he does enough to force a free kick. We're getting into ultra attacking territory. Don't want to go to the game plan too early. Oh, what an intervention from the Wrexham defender again. We had Jake Dale in his trademark position. Just holding back.
Couldn't find a teammate, unfortunately.
Waiting for that pullback, and he finds it.
Well, let's get more details on.
But again, Wrexham. Oh, and that's bounced off Elijah Just there, who's also picked up a knock.
Real discomfort. He's a tough boy. I think he'll stay on.
He will stay on. I don't want to switch to ultra attacking too early, just because it makes us so much more likely to concede again, and then the game is completely gone. But we are getting towards ultra attacking territory. 75, 80 minutes. Zach Francis just tries to find Sam Ford, but Wrexham, as they have all game, just standing in their flat bank of 5 and managing to prevent the pass from finding its way through. Jake Dale is there though. Fantastic pullback from Ryan Lancaster. Jake Dale finds himself with the ball at his feet in the 6-yard box. Flicks the ball towards goal, and it's a Wrexham defender yet again making the all-important intervention.
Now let's see what they can do here.
Aidan Hutton does the same for Rangers though, sets them on their way. Eli Just gives the ball away. If we survive this attack, I think it's going to be ultra attacking time. And we do. But Eli Just gives the ball away again.
He's going forward well here.
The other thing about ultra attacking is I have us on constant pressure, so it is extremely draining for stamina. So we don't want to use it for too long in games.
Can they turn one of these attacks into a
Lancaster on a long mazy run. Just trying to find an option. Manages to find Dalton. Not too much on though. He's marked closely by the Wrexham defender, but he's managed to carve out some space. Gets into the box, pulls it back. Wrexham clear. Sam Ford wins the header. Lancaster turns, strikes towards goal, but it's straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, not much time left now, and these supporters are doing everything they can to get their team over the finish line. What an atmosphere.
Sam Ford finds Ryan Lancaster. Can he get a strike off? He can't. We will press them in the corner though. They managed to work their way out very, very well, and they've got some space now to counter-attack. But they don't manage to make use of it. Bullock will come away with the ball, release it to Bevan, who will drive towards the Wrexham defence. There's very little on again though. He's surrounded by 3 defenders. He tosses the ball into the box and it's headed clear yet again. Lancaster his target. Jake Dale would have made a better one. Stanley immediately gets the ball going back in the opposite direction. Dalton now crosses, just as at the back post, heads it back towards goal, but it's a tame effort that goes straight to the goalkeeper. And Wrexham would have been away if it wasn't for Aidan Hutton's intervention. Again, we find Dalton. Again, he tosses the ball into the box for Sam Ford this time. Tries to pull it back, but somehow it's cleared. I feel like that's been the story all game long. Wrexham just with the all-important intervention just at the right moment. And we're going to have to win the ball back quickly if we want one final attack to try and equalise. Hutton manages to do that, and we will have time to attack one last time. But the attack was a poor one. Sam Ford couldn't find Dalton. Then he was offside. Nobody else looked eager to make a run in behind for some reason. And we do end up losing 1-0 to Wrexham. It's not an undeserved defeat. You can't really complain too much. Wrexham were the better side. They absolutely dominated us in the first half. Pushed for an equaliser in the second, and we did probably have the edge on them, all things told, in the second half, but we don't do enough to find an equaliser. Wrexham defended extremely well. We edged possession in the end, 51 to 49. Just very little, made very little of that possession though. Only 3 shots to Wrexham's 9. Yep. Can't complain too much about the defeat, but our unbeaten run in the league now does come to an end. MK Dons also won, who I believe were in 3rd place before the game. Probably feel frustrated to have lost. How important could it be to the team moving forward? Oh, was Hutton's performance a plus? Yeah, I guess so. He did defend very well, to be fair. We finally tasted defeat. Where do we go from here? It couldn't last forever. We were always going to lose at some point, especially in a league as competitive as League 2. Do we have to accept that Wrexham are just the better team right now? We probably do. They probably are a better side than us. We did start just as a 1-star team when we generated the squad. Wrexham a 2-star team, so Brandon Anderson is now at top fitness. I did tweak a couple of the training plans. I went through a lot of these players down on the bench and in the reserves and just adjusted them to either balanced or performance focused, where they're not getting a great deal of game time, so their sharpness is dropping off. If they're not playing games, fitness isn't going to be an issue. So, in fact, I could probably go performance focused for these guys, and I will do that actually. And then some other players just unbalanced when they come off the bench fairly often, like Just and Jamie Ford and Zach Francis. Everybody else in the starting 11 still on energy focused. Let's see how that changes the table then. Wrexham do overtake us and go a point ahead at the top of the league. MK Dons also gain on us. They are still 4 points behind though. They did win their last game. So the top 3, the automatic place, is really starting to solidify now. Do we run the same 11 out there against Newport? We have to change Reece Bevan. I might actually change Josh De Silva to... So we've got a right-footed left wing-back and a left-footed right wing-back. I think I'm actually going to change not Josh De Silva, Jose De Silva. I think I'll actually change Billy Bentley to right wing-back. We'll only take 2 weeks. And then we'll change Jose De Silva to a left wing-back, which should, I imagine, take the same amount of time. 23 weeks for him. His form is bad. But we'll give him the start in this game. Suhail also on international duty, so Carpenter will come in onto the bench. And Just is also on international duty. I was just going to say we'll give him the start since we did give him that crucial squad role. So other than that, we'll actually keep it the same. And we will see how we get on against Newport County. Going to set up in a 4-4-2 diamond. Going to set up very narrow and just play standard. But we'll quick sim this one and see what happens. We do run out 2-1 winners. Dale misses another penalty. We might need to take him off penalties. He did score in the very first minute of the game. And then McLaughlin equalised in the 5th. So a frantic start to the game. Dale then missed a penalty in the 26th minute. And that's his second penalty miss of the season. And then Lancaster scores the winner late on, just 2 minutes to go in the game. So we do get back in the win column. Wrexham also won though, so they're still going to be a point ahead of us at the top of the table. But we are already on 40 points and we're only towards the end of November, so we could be on for a really healthy points total towards the end of the season. So we still find ourselves a point behind Wrexham. Plenty of goals scored with a highest scoring team in the league, but Wrexham's defence, as we saw in that game earlier, is just incredible. Only 10 goals conceded in 18 games. Gives them a plus 15 goal difference. So we'll leave it there for this episode. I will be adjusting the injury sliders ahead of the next episode. And in the next episode we'll be taking on MK Dons at home, Bradford away from home, and then Walsall also at home, all in the league. And that will take us into December. So I think MK Dons will probably be the game that we play, just because they are also one of those teams right in the mix for one of those automatic promotion places. So yeah, we'll take on MK Dons at home in the next episode. And until then, take it easy.